Welcome to Power Ranking, a show where you, the fans, vote on your favorite things in video games, movies, TV, and whatever the hell else the internet is excited for these days. With the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pack updating the games to include even more Pokemon this year, we wanted to know which of the missing Pokemon from Sword and Shield you desired the most. Using your suggestions in the Pokemon Face-Off results from IGN.com, we narrowed down all the missing Pokemon to the 5 most sought after. Then we pulled across multiple IGN platforms to scientifically determine once and for all which of them is the IGN audience's most wanted missing Pokemon from Sword and Shield, and over 475,000 of you voted. A little bit of an explainer before we get into the actual results. Because we wanted so many Pokemon to get a chance to shine, if Pokemon from the same evolutionary chain were voted very close together in the rankings, we decided to sort of bundle those together and just focus on the most voted in that chain. We'll explain a little bit of that as we get into the results, but we wanted all of your Pokemon to get somewhat of a spotlight, so that's why these results don't have duplicates from the same chain. Anyway, with all that explanation aside, here are your results. In 5th place with 43,528 votes is, sorry, I know Pokemon really well, but is it Scyther or Scyther? It's Scyther? Okay. Farhan on YouTube says, I'm so surprised. Scyther? Scyther is struggling. He's one of the coolest Pokemon. And of course, going back to that whole explainer I just did, Scyther was actually number 7 in the ranking, very close, but the evolutionary form was the winner in this case. In 4th place with 58,942 votes is Typhlosion. I love that name. Typhlosion is so great. Typhlosion is the evolved form of Cyndaquil, one of the starters from Gold and Silver. Cyndaquil was actually number 11 in the ranking, while Quilava was number 15. Quilava is the middle teen years of Cyndaquil, of course. So congratulations to the Cyndaquil line for getting so far in the rankings all throughout their evolutionary chain. In 3rd place with 59,132 votes is a return to Gold and Silver starters as well with Totodile. Totodile just barely edged out Typhlosion with less than 1,000 votes in between them. That is so close, but a huge congrats to Totodile, who was my first choice when I first played Gold and Silver all those years ago. Rashida on YouTube says, Totodile deserves way more love. He is the adorable Croc baby, and that is absolutely true. Probably cuter than Croc himself, but if you feel bad about Totodile not even being higher up on this list, do know that the rest of his evolutionary chain did perform pretty well. Feraligatr was number 9 on the list, while Croconaw was number 24. So congrats to them as well. Congrats to these Pokemon. In 2nd place with 71,358 votes is not Abra, not Kadabra, but Alakazam, one of the original 151 Pokemon. Alakazam is your 2nd most wanted Pokemon, but the entire evolutionary chain was pretty high up. Kadabra was number 13, and Abra teleported all the way to number 21. It's very sad that Alakazam is not in these games, but he's just got all those bendy spoons. He's busy with all the Matrix mind jumbo. I don't really know what to say about Alakazam. And finally, at the top of the Pokemon most wanted heap, the most wanted missing Pokemon from Sword and Shield with 247,374 votes, as voted by you, the audience at home, is Dragonite. That's right, with about 52% of the total votes. Dragonite was the most voted missing Pokemon in Sword and Shield, and its whole evolutionary chain was actually pretty popular. But before we get to that, CC on YouTube says, can't go wrong with Dragonite. Perfect design, nice stat distribution, sure, awesome move pool, and that multi-scale ability is just amazing. And Dragonite was not alone in being voted very highly on this list. Dragonair was actually number 2 in the total overall ranking before we condensed evolutionary chains, and Dratini was number 6. So congratulations to the entire Dra family. You did very well in this polling. Of course, outside of all of these winners, we did get some amazing other suggestions from all of you out there in the social media spheres, like Baksuda on YouTube, who said, I'm more of a Garchomp fan. Congratulations, Garchomp scares me. Norman Reedus, whoa, we got some celebrities voting in here. That is pretty impressive. Norman Reedus says, I want Luxray, in all caps. So, Pokemon Company, if you're listening, Norman Reedus wants Luxray in the game. Listen to the Star of Death Stranding. What's wrong with you people? Anyway, we have more results from the Pokemon Face-Off voting, like the 5 least wanted Pokemon in Sword and Shield. This is a sad bit to bring up. But do you want to know who took the bottom 5? Of course you do! So based on the votes, Fungus took 5th from last. Poor Fungus, whose head looks like a Pokeball, and this is sort of a Fungus and the Pokeball chicken and the egg situation. I don't know who came first, whether the design of the Pokeball was based on Fungus or Fungus took its design from the Pokeball, but that's an entirely different video. Following Fungus was Wormadam as the 4th least voted. who was next followed by Alomomola. At second to last was Bruxish, which is a lot of fish going on here. And sadly, the least wanted missing Pokemon from Sword and Shield, according to the face-off voting, is Love Disc. I'm so sorry, Love Disc. Apparently there was not enough love for your disc. Hold for applause. If you want to see more results from the Pokemon Face-Off, check out the link in the description below. And if you missed this poll, that's too bad. Do your part and get yourself on all these IGN platforms to get your votes in now for the next poll, because there are no redos. But is there anything else we left off that should have been number one? Do you agree or disagree with the results of this ranking, including the bottom ranking? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, for everything Pokemon, keep it locked to IGN. Love Disc may have been voted the least wanted Pokemon in this poll, but every least wanted Pokemon is someone's most wanted Pokemon. Do you know someone in your family, or your community, or your school, or your student council group that needs a partner? Do you need someone who can go out into the battlefield with you and maybe perform a couple of moves at a very low level, but still give it their all? Then find a home for a Love Disc today. Show these discs some love, and they'll show it right back.